before you touch the Holy Quran, you must have performed ablution. I haven't performed ablution as I stand here, so I can't touch it. Thank you very much.
So please, I,
Collins Dauda,
swear by Allah that the evidence I shall give before this committee touching the matter in issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me Allah.
Thank you, Senior or Distinguished Honorable Collins Alhaji Dauda, for attending upon this committee to give a witness account of what happened on the 30th of January 2025. We saw a gentleman in a white dress, jalabia, and you also watched the video. Can you confirm whether that is Honorable Alhaji Collins Dauda?
I came into the meeting room that day. So I was here.
Thank you very much. Can you tell this committee what you witnessed on that day?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, that day the minister designate for Ahaf region was billed to take her turn at the vetting committee. And I came in. It was late, so I was wondering whether I should be taken or not. So I came in to get a confirmation from the chairman of the committee whether she would be taken, only to find that the place was in disarray. There was confusion. In fact, the tables had been turned upside down. Some tables have been turned upside down. Some chairs thrown on the tables. And the gadgets here broken. But the place was in a mess. And whilst the NDC members were insisting that proceedings should continue, the MPP side also insisted that proceedings must be brought to an end. Proceedings shouldn't continue. I said, why must somebody cause this confusion and still benefit from the confusion? It's wrong. And so I was supporting those who were of the view that the vetting should continue.
That was what you witnessed.
That's what I witnessed.
Thank you very much. Does that mean that you came in after the commotion?
Chairman, exactly the case. I came in when everything was over. I didn't get the opportunity to see the drama.
The video we watched clearly shows that you came in after the drama. And so we saw you talking. What were you telling honorable members at that time?
I was just simply saying that the vetting must not end. The vetting must continue. Because Honorable Akando had taken his seat. He has subscribed to the oath.
Okay, we want to put on record that because we were not here, he didn't know whether, in fact, we were told, and he himself confirmed, that he has not taken the oath at that time.
Oh, okay.
So you can continue.
But he was seated. He was seated here. So I thought that He had gone through all the processes waiting for questions to be thrown to him. And so I was wondering why the committee would ask him to step out without going through the vetting. And in fact, one of the members from the MPP side shouted behind me that they were tired. In fact, that's what annoyed me the most. In our standing orders, you don't stop parliamentary business when you are tired. It cannot be basis for anybody to recommend a committee to adjourn. It cannot be basis for anybody to ask the speaker to adjourn the sitting of parliament. So I found that to be weird. And it's one of the reasons I joined my colleagues in saying that the vetting must continue.
As the most senior, most member of parliament, currently in the 9th parliament, will you describe this scene that happened on the 30th of January as one of the scenes that should not have happened?
It is something that indeed was avoidable. Could have been avoided completely.
As a distinguished and revered member of this House, did you try to engage the other side, the minority that says that they were not going to allow the vetting to continue? When you came in and there was commotion, did you talk to them?
At that point, I realized that there was the determination on their side not to proceed. They were not ready at all, because at some point, when some members tried to rearrange the chairs here, they were obstructing them. The member of parliament for Koforidua, he wouldn't allow anybody even to touch the table by way of rearranging the place for the vetting to go on.
Is that the Honorable Michael Ochiri Befi?
I don't know the name too well, but I know he's the MP for
So
Koforidua.
can you identify him? Oh, where is it? Maybe in the video? We just want to be sure. For the record, we want you to show us, tell us who that person. Okay, so that is Honorable Befi. Okay, my colleagues have one questions for you.
No supplementary. Alaji, you are a senior member of this House. And since the events of 30th and 31st January, you have heard all kinds of commentary about the events. What is your advice? Or for that matter, what recommendations would you want to make to us regarding the events of 30th and 31st?
In order that this situation will not occur again, it's a difficult one. A difficult one because when people determine, they organize and determine to do something, it's difficult to make a recommendation to deal with it. You will never know what their plans are. It was very clear, because I was in this meeting room earlier on, when one of the honorable members from this side wanted to make a point, and all the members on the right side here put on their mics in order that this other member...
Honourable member, respectfully, if you could kindly clarify which side you're referring to by using majority or minority for clarity.
This side, majority side. Somebody from the majority side was given opportunity to make a point, to ask a question. And all the members on the minority side put on their mics in order that you will not be heard. That I was there. So there was a determination to disrupt proceedings. In a matter like that, it is difficult to give a prescription. But generally, if we are looking at how we conduct vetting, we can come up with some pieces of advice.
So will you recommend to the House that we should have rules or procedures for every committee, how the committee ought to do their work, conduct their work?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, ministers come before the Appointments Committee for vetting. But sometimes, if you watch, the proceedings move away from vetting to inquisition. It becomes inquisitorial to the extent that a member of Parliament who has been nominated by the President to take up a responsibility as a minister will take a seat and be asked about his wife, how the wife takes care of him and all that. Mr. Chairman, you recall that until this 9th Parliament, the previous appointments committees never had the benefit of subject matter committee members sitting in. The purpose of bringing in subject matter committees is to test the knowledge of the nominee in the area where he has been nominated to go and work. That, I think, should be the focus of the vetting committee members. But after subject matter committees ask 1 or 2 questions, they spend, let's say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum. And questions which are unrelated to the subject area where the nominee is going takes 3 hours. For me, should not be encouraged. But if you don't lay the rules well, there will be abuses. My view is that the ground rules must be set clearly, parameters determined. That way, we'll have proper vetting. Test the nominee in the area where he's going to work, in order that you know whether the person who has been nominated to go to, for example, Minister of Agriculture, has the knowledge, has the capacity to be able to help this Ghana move forward.
Chair, Honorable Collins Dauda, the committee has the benefit of having these rules or procedure for Government Assurances Committee, which regulates their work. My question, will you also recommend that every committee in this House, just as you've mentioned, have its own rule so that it will not be abused?
I support this. I mean, democracy, parliamentary democracy is a process. Laws change, rules change, regulations change because of changes in circumstances. We have never witnessed this before. Even though it is bad, but it's an opportunity for us to learn. Let's draw lessons from it. Let's not focus only on the negatives. What can we do to improve parliamentary democracy going forward? The lessons for me is what is important. So I agree that there must be rules well documented in order that in future, when my son is nominated as a minister, he won't go through this rigorous inquisition. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Honorable Alaji, excuse me, you are like a godfather in the House. You've been through 8, am I right? This is your 8th session, your 8th term in Parliament.
My 8th term.
From the 8th Parliament, that's since 2020. Well, I came in during the 8th Parliament. Certain behaviors are showing up, which maybe it's safe to say that they are counterproductive to what a parliamentary culture is in this country. Do you agree with that?
If you can expatiate on that, so I will know how to.
From your first time of coming to Parliament to your 7th, I don't think, I would not know. You would know better. But it's from the 8th, your 7th time of coming to Parliament. It's when you saw what happened in the last term, when there were these, we call them fracases, you call them distractions, disturbances in the House. But they were on the floor of the chamber. Now they are moving into committees. Should we be concerned?
The event that took place in the last Parliament, leading to the election of Right Honorable Speaker Aban Sumana Bamben, wasn't the best, but when you have the minority determined to have a speaker on their side, you should expect some of these things happening. But I will say that parliamentary democracy is becoming so sophisticated. When I started, up to a certain point, I didn't know that delegates had to be induced to vote in a particular way. The delegates will look at you, assess you, and vote based on what they think you can do for them. Today it's changed. When it started, it was gifts. Today, it's gifts plus other things. Gifts are more. It's not good for a parliamentary democracy. But that's another subject that we can discuss later.
But my observation, recent observation, is that now we are moving from chamber into committee with the disruptions. And your view on that, please.
It's the same human being, the same honorable members in the chamber who constitute the committees. So if you can do it in the chamber, it is easy even to do it at the committee level. And so it's attitudinal something that we need to all work on. I don't know how we'll do it, but certainly we need to work on the behavior of members of parliament. Attitudinal change is required here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I agree with you.
Honorable, you earlier on mentioned that you witnessed some of our MPs put on their mics so that it can disrupt the whole process. We have also seen similar ones in the main chamber, and it is coming from even the first timers. Where are we going? Where should this future be? Do you recommend that Parliament or the Speaker should look at this situation as a very serious thing, and if punishment is supposed to be meted out? Because you look at the privileges are just becoming too many for members of Parliament, so we can do whatever we want and then we go scot-free. What do you recommend that the Speaker should do?
I recommend that the Speaker organizes orientation for members of Parliament in order that they will not engage in things that are unparliamentary. There are so many things that have changed. Even the way we dress into the chamber. Honorable Osei Champon's time, when he was leader, majority leader, the share some of you wear and enter the chamber. Those days, no way. If you wear a suit, you are in suit, your jacket with a tie. I find today, shirt without a tie, with a jacket, he's in the chamber. If we all agree that that's the way we want to go, fine. If we want to dress traditionally, it must be proper traditional. The smock, the long sleeve smock, not the short sleeve smock. That is a singlet. I remember a member of Parliament during those days came in with a sleeveless smock. He was walked out because it was described as a singlet. Today, all manner of things are accepted. We need to go back, look at our ethics. But as I said, orientation is the answer to it. Thank you.
Yeah, Alaji, beyond orientation, because to me, the first timers, they just went through orientation, and this is the results we are getting. Do we do something extra? Because to me, orientation, are we, the privileges is becoming MPs' privileges? The speakers, do they have to take stern decisions on some of us? Because I fear the future. If even the Nine Parliament is behaving this way, from where you started from, you mentioned Honorable also a champion. That should tell you the good old days. So if now, even the Nine Parliament, this is what we are experiencing, then I will fear for the 10th and the 11th Parliament. So if there should be any action, I think it should be now. So what do you recommend, Honorable, apart beyond the orientation?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've said what I can say in public. I know that after your meetings with the distinguished persons you intend to invite, you retire to a committee meeting where you prepare your report. At that stage, if you find it necessary to invite me, I'll come sit with you without the cameras, and I'll say a lot of things. Some of the things I can't say before the cameras. Then discipline is not about the freshers alone. It's about all of us. I thank you.
Thank you, honorable colleague. chair is back.
Honorable Collins Alaji Dauda, thank you for attending upon this committee. You are honorably discharged. Thank you so much. If the committee needs you again, we'll call upon you, sir. Honorable members and honorable colleagues, we want to thank you so much. Initially, we indicated that we were going to have Mr. Kweku Asante from Joy FM, whose video, one of the videos that we depend on heavily, but we're told that he needs a representation from his lawyers to take the witness box. Since we cannot continue with the taking the witnesses, we were given up to today. We've requested for additional days from the speaker. The speaker has not yet responded. And so we will come to the end of our public hearing. I've also mentioned that our colleagues from the minority has written officially to us that they will not be part of this witness hearing or public hearing. The clerk, those who are left will be the clerk to Parliament. We've not received any indication from him as to whether he'll be appearing before us by the time. Our time is also up. And so we have those left now. Mr. Ebenezer Humachitro, the clerk to Parliament, Honorable Alexander Penyo Makin, Honorable Frank Anodompre, Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib, Honorable Alassane Tampuli Suleimana, Honorable Michael Ochrebefi, Honorable Rudolph Amaku Jampa, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, and Honorable Dr. Freche Asama. These are those that we needed to engage. But without them, we have seen the videos and they will still write our report and present it to plenary. So we thank you all for coming. We are grateful that you've covered this public hearing. We know very well that Parliament is at its lowest ebb, and it's our prayer that the report of this committee will bring some dignity to the House. I want to reiterate that this committee is not here to witch hunt anyone. We are here to find out what really happened, as the instruction of Mr. Speaker is just to identify those who are involved and then recommend to the House what to be done next. As for the measures and the punishment, the Speaker has already laid out ways to identify, and all of you have seen the video. Even without us having public hearing or listening to the witnesses, we've all seen the video, and it's so clear that the committee will come out with the report and recommendation and identify those who are involved. So once again, thank you so much for coming. God bless us, our homeland, Ghana.